If you've been feeling a deep inner need to prove yourself or to push harder or to constantly justify your value lately, you're not imagining it. We're in a collective moment where the themes of worth, willpower, and self trust are being activated in a really big way. And that's because right now, the North Node and South Nodes are activating the heart or will center in human design. So today I want to talk about what the will center actually is, how it gets conditioned, and how to come back into a healthy relationship with your own power and worth. Because this center is not about hustling harder, although it has the energy to do so. It's about knowing your value without proving it. It is actually one of the motor centers. That means it creates energy. It's also one of the newest centers evolutionarily. It showed up for us in the late 1700s, so what is that, about 250 years? And this showed up as humanity began organizing around material resources, agreements, and like exchanging of goods and services. And during that time, this is the energy that really gave humanity the ability to become more sovereign and not need to rely on so many other people as we gathered around more material goods and services and things like that in this world. So the will center governs willpower, ego, your sense of self-worth, material resources, and our relationship with value, both on the inside and outer. And at its core, this center asks one big question: do I trust my value enough to act from it? About 30% of the population has a defined will center, which means they have consistent access to this energy every single day. If this is you, you are here to learn how to use this willpower consciously and sustainably. It is always with you. The rest of us who have it white or undefined, it is our job to experience it when we're in the aura of other people or when it is transiting like it is right now. So my defined will people, you have a consistent access to willpower, but that actually doesn't mean you have unlimited energy. It means you're designed to make commitments and follow through. You have a natural sense of what holds value. You're actually meant to be a person that others can rely on and feel empowered by. But here's the part most people miss. Your power is not meant to be constantly on and running. Your will is not meant to be used to prove yourself, to push through exhaustion, or to override your body. When you do that, this center burns out. And because this is a motor center, and it's kind of like the little engine that could, it's gonna go that extra mile, it's gonna get you there. You have the energy to do that. Oftentimes people with a defined will center find that they reach burnout when they're way past burnout. And then the recovery from that takes much longer and is more difficult. A lot of people with a defined will grow up receiving love or approval when they either perform well or when they've achieved a lot or they showed up really strong in life. And because of that, their subconscious beliefs might be, if I do more, if I succeed and push, climb the ladder, then I'm worthy. If I stop, I'll lose value. This leads to overcommitting, overworking, overgiving, saying yes when your body is whispering no, and eventually depletion. But here's the reframe I want to land gently in your body. Your worth is not something you earn. It's something that you embody. You do not have to prove it. You do not have to perform it. You do not have to overextend to be deserving in this world. When you try to earn worth through effort, the will center gets distorted. When you honor your worth first and have faith in source, the will center becomes magnetic. So a healthy expression of a defined will center looks like making clean commitments. You know when to say yes and also when to say no. You honor your rest cycles as much as you're going the extra mile cycles. You give from fullness, not depletion. You understand that your presence alone carries value, and you embody your full empowering gifts. You don't play small. People with will centers are very empowering. You don't have to play small, so take a look at that. That might be somewhere where you're conditioned to like, whew, I know I affect people, so I'm just gonna rein it in. That's going to burn you out too. Other ways you're optimizing your defined will center is you're no longer trying to convince anyone of your worth. You are simply embodying it. You know you are worthy and value simply because you exist, period, the end. And from that place, your influence becomes incredibly powerful. One of the biggest challenges of having a defined will center is knowing when to stop. Because this is a motor center, you can override physical and emotional signals and keep going long past what's healthy. Now, maybe you're wondering, what is the deeper purpose of the will center? At its highest expression, the will center isn't about dominance or ego, although you can have quite the healthy ego if you have this defined. It's about integrity. It's about knowing what truly matters to you, what you're willing to commit to, what you're not available for anymore. When your will is aligned, you become a living example of healthy self-worth. And that alone gives other people permission to do the same. I always like to share this story with my clients as an example. I have a completely open heart center, so I really pick up and amplify other people's defined heart centers, okay? So my lesson in this lifetime is to know that I don't need to prove my worth to anyone, and that I don't have consistent willpower every day, which is hard to do when you're an entrepreneur and a parent. Anyway, back in my early 20s, I tried to do network marketing, and I would go to that, like the big seminar where a motivational speaker would get on stage, and they probably had a defined heart center, and they'd be like, "You're going to be a millionaire. You need to just call 10 people. You need to have an abundant mindset," and like all the things. And I would be so lit for like those 3 days that I would be at that seminar. And I could like hold the vision of like, I can do this, no problem. I believe in the product. I can share it with people. I'm a go-getter. I have the willpower and the drive and the competition, like all this stuff. And then I would get home, and like 5 days after getting home from that, I would have a total hangover, and I would have such bad self-talk because I was not surrounded by the defined will center people anymore. They weren't fueling my totally open heart center and making me so excited about really going out there and making it happen and being the little engine that could, right? So that's just an example of how we are all so affected by other people's energy, and getting to know if this center is defined or undefined in your chart is the first place to start, so you can understand how you're meant to use it for yourself. And if you'd like to dive deeper into understanding that, you can find my details down below about all my sessions that I offer, where we dive deeper into your human design and coaching for your life. So that's a quick overview of the defined heart center. And I want to leave you with just a few gentle reflections. Where in your life are you pushing when rest is needed? That's what we're usually conditioned to do. Where are you trying to prove your worth instead of trusting it, acknowledging it, and owning it? What would change if you only committed to what truly felt aligned? If this video resonated, it's likely that you're having a felt sense now of what the heart center, the will center, really means in human design, especially with the current North Node, South Node activation that is bringing the themes of worth, value, and embodiment to the surface for the entire collective. If you want to go deeper into your own human design and understand how your unique energy works, I have more resources below, including sessions and guides designed to help you to live from alignment rather than effort. And if this video supported you, I'd love for you to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs this reminder. You don't need to earn your worth. You already are the resource. All right, guys, I will see you on the next video.